Reading candlesticks in the market can be confusing, and I want to show you 4 simple candlestick patterns that you can use to profit from the markets. These are the same candlesticks that I use to pull out thousands and thousands of dollars from the markets every single month. This video is actually going to be a clip from a boot camp that I held where people invested a few $1,000s in themselves in order to be able to learn this and so much more. And you're getting it 100% for free here on YouTube. If you want to put yourself in the best position possible in order to pull money from the markets every single month, every single week, or even every single day, depending on how you trade, then you definitely want to join Profitable Traders Academy. And this is going to be an amazing group for you in order to help you do this as quickly and as easily as possible. Forget all the headache and all of the trial and error. You can skip that by getting help from me directly. I am there answering questions in order to help you move along much quicker. So go ahead and check out ProfitableTradersAcademy.com. The link is going to be in the description below, and here is the clip. We are going to talk about entry candlestick patterns. Now, this is really exciting because before I had certain candlesticks in order to enter the market on, my results were very sporadic. And the key thing that you need to focus on here is that you want to find entry candlesticks at support and resistance only. And this is super important because, like I said, my results were very sporadic in the beginning. And it was mainly because if I saw an engulfing candlestick, which we'll talk a little bit more about later, but basically if I saw one of these candlesticks, I would enter no matter if it was at a support or resistance level or not, and didn't fully understand why my results weren't what I expected. And this was the key. So you want to focus on where the candle is, not necessarily what type of candle. So if you see an entry candlestick, but it's not at a support or resistance level, then it is not an entry candlestick for you at that moment. And once I incorporated this inside of my day trading, my results were a lot better. And it also helped me build up my discipline and patience when looking for these particular entry signals inside of the market. So there are 2 main types of candlesticks. There are aggressive candlesticks, and then there are conservative candlesticks. And basically, we're going to go through those types really quickly, but basically, I just want you to understand that there are 2 different types, and a lot of times I really try to enter aggressively, mainly because it really helps out my risk to reward ratio. And conservative candlesticks are going to be the safest, but sometimes you will have a hit to your risk to reward ratio, and we'll definitely talk about what this looks like later on inside of the program. So for now, let's cover conservative entry candlesticks. So this is typically a 2 candlestick pattern. It'll either be a bullish or a bearish engulfing. And basically an engulfing candlestick is when the candle closes below for bearish or above for bullish previous candlestick. So here's an example of a bullish engulfing candlestick. So notice how this blue candle closed above the high of this candlestick. This is also known as a high probability engulfing candlestick pattern, because sometimes inside of the market, you may see that this body is above this body, but it may be a medium probability, and I will show you some examples, so don't worry. So this is the bullish engulfing candlestick, and then we have an example of a bearish engulfing candlestick. And this is when the bearish candlestick closes below the previous candle. So not just the body, but also the low. And I really like entering on these because this is a high probability candlestick, and I have a lot more certainty taking the trade, mainly because depending on whether or not we are in session, and we'll talk more about that later in the indicator section, but basically this gives me a lot more confidence that the price may continue in my favor, especially when I see this bearish engulfing candlestick and I'm looking to take a short. So earlier I talked about medium probability candlesticks. So if you have a bullish engulfing candlestick, and I mentioned this before, but it's when the body of the candle closes above the this should be, oh yeah, the body of the previous candlestick. And same for the bearish. It's when the body of the candle closes below the body of the previous candlestick. Now, your previous candlestick may be bullish or bearish. That doesn't matter. You just need to make sure that it engulfs, meaning that this candle closes below the body of the previous candle. So next we have high probability engulfing candlesticks, and the bullish variation, or the bullish, is when the body of the candle closes above the highest high of the previous candlestick. So remember up here, this was an example of a high probability engulfing candlestick, mainly because the body of this candlestick, or this candlestick in general, but especially the body, closed above the highest high, which is this tip here, the previous candlestick. So that makes it a high probability engulfing candlestick. So same for the bearish. This example is an example of a high probability bearish engulfing candle, mainly because the body here closed below the lowest low, this right here, of the previous candlestick. So these are going to really help you. So later on or throughout this program, I'll give you more examples of this, but this has really been a game changer for me and has really forced me to wait for candlesticks to print instead of jumping in too soon and potentially losing money like I did when I first started day trading. Wow, there was so much good stuff inside of that video. I showed you the 4 candlestick patterns that included the bullish and the bearish version of those. And then I also gave you some information around what to look for inside of the live market to make sure that when you see these candlestick patterns that you have the highest percentage or the highest opportunity for success inside of the market. So if you love this video, go ahead and let me know by giving it a like, and then let me know specifically inside of the comment section below if you found this video helpful. I want to create more content like this in order to help you become a better trader. See you soon.